Okay, so to continue that series on 10 reasons to start your own YouTube channel, and I'm not going to go through these in order. I've already did that in the last video. I'll put a link up there if you haven't seen it. I'll pick these randomly as I feel like talking about them and expound on them further. If you have a pre-existing business of any kind, dude, if you're not on YouTube, you're just like, you're missing it. That's where all the action is. Any business. I don't care what the business is. I don't care if you're a lawyer. I don't care if you're a fishing tackle shop owner. I don't care if you are just a diesel mechanic. It doesn't matter. Take your business online first by establishing a presence on YouTube. That's how I started. In fact, well, the reality is I had a YouTube channel called Greenhorn Gardening. I still have that YouTube channel. It's up. I don't upload anything. If you were to advertise on radio, if you were to advertise on television, if you were to advertise in the newspaper, you're going to spend money. I mean, money. Whereas YouTube, with a little bit of search engine optimization knowledge and a few video skills, like how to shoot video that in an effective way that makes people want to watch the video, you can advertise your business for free. And you can build an audience over time for free. And you can build an audience of people who will buy your products. And you can specifically target the people who want to buy the product or service that you're offering. Now the thing is, you don't get on YouTube with a bunch of buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff videos. That you got to give value. You got to share your knowledge. You got to give, because people are not going to YouTube. You know, the old Chinese proverbs, nobody walks into a shop to please the owner. Right? They're not watching your videos to please you. Think about the number of videos you watch on YouTube. You're not doing it to please the person who produced the video. You're doing it to please yourself. The reason I watch YouTube fishing videos is to learn something about fishing. I'm in it to learn something. If it isn't something new, if it isn't something that I haven't sort of already know and understand, then I'm just not going to watch it, because I'm not interested in being entertained by watching other people fishing. If I want to, I just go fishing, right? You know. So as you see a lot of my videos, it's about the how-to aspect. It's about my channel is not about me, right? It's about what I'm doing. It's about the world that I'm inhabiting. I think the first thing you ought to do, if you have your own business of any kind, or if you have any aspirations to have your own business of any kind, the first thing you ought to do is you got to sit down and understand, one, why it is this you want to do this, and two, you should within one sentence describe what your channel will be about. And for me, for instance, with Black Warrior Lures, the Black Warrior Lures YouTube channel is about fishing, where we follow me, Damon, as I design and test fishing tackle, explore my local waters while fighting diabetes, depression, and the daily struggles of being a self-employed business owner. Now, back when I was doing Greenhorn Gardening, YouTube was just, people weren't really doing YouTube. This was back when YouTube hadn't been bought out by Google yet, and YouTube was just full of stupid people trying to kill themselves, right? That's kind of what it was, and you could only upload like a 30-second clip, and it wasn't even standard definition, some of this stuff. It was just really, back then podcasting was much bigger, if you ask me, and blogging was still bigger, and people having their own websites was still the big thing, and people would go to their own, people would have an audience built on their own website, right, through their blog or whatever. This is back when the old school forums were still big, right? People were still, remember MySpace? This is back sort of when MySpace was big and before they sort of collapsed and Facebook kind of became the new thing. There's always going to be a new thing. So the first thing you do on YouTube is use YouTube as a way to serve your existing customers. See, I was already making fishing tackle. I was already making these before I started on YouTube, right? In other words, I was making these and I was just selling them on eBay, and I had a presence on some forums various fishing forums that I still frequent and post to. And I just had this idea of making these floats, and these floats are based on my dad's floats. My dad made these, except his were one piece, and he whittled them out of a solid piece of cedar or poplar. And I thought, gosh, there's no way I could churn these out fast enough. So I decided, well, wait a minute. The basic thing is they were just sort of cigar shaped, but they tapered down to a very fine point. Well, what if I just took that, put a big lighter piece of high buoyancy material dead on the middle point, and then basically got a denser material like this, allow me to really set the balance point perfectly without doing a whole lot of work. But I started selling them on eBay first, and people started buying them. And I first started doing some flies, some trolling flies, because I was doing a lot of fly fishing at the time. But the flies never really sold all that well on eBay, although I do still sell some every year. It was these floats that really took off. People kept asking me, how do I rig these? How do I rig them? How do I fish them? How do I use them? And then I started learning about slip cork fishing for catfish. And I said, if I could just get on YouTube, I could use YouTube as a way to just teach people how to use the float, because it's not intuitive. There's no spring clip on it. We're definitely clipping now. So we started selling these on eBay. Guys on the forums liked the way they look. They liked the way they fish. They liked the sensitivity. They gave me some advice on about this thing here. And so I started I had me a little hat cam. I started using the same camera I was doing with my gardening videos on my YouTube videos. Those videos were horrible. Those early videos were horrible. Use YouTube as a way to serve your customer current based. Frequently asked questions. Just talk to them and just say, look, these are the 10 most frequently asked questions that I get all the time. You're just going to answer those frequently asked questions. And then product use videos. In other words, teach people how to use the product. Teach people ways of using the product they haven't thought of. Customers who are using your product in a different way that you thought possible, feature that. Show them that. Once you get that established, this is if you have a pre-existing business. Once you have that going, then you want to start using YouTube as a way to get more customers. You do that by finding the sort, that begins, you have to get into the realm of search engine optimization and understanding your customer base. What are people searching for? What is it they are looking for but can't find? And what is it that you can provide that they're looking for? Now you're beginning to build an audience on top of what the foundation you've already laid. And when they start seeing your content, they already see, oh, he has products for sale, and he's already teaching me how to use it, and he's already sort of serving me as that way. Once you get that established, then you expand and grow more into, hey, let's start shooting a show. Let's make an actual TV show, right, on your fishing videos. Or let's make an actual documentary type deal with your fishing videos. So it's not just customer service videos. It's not just how-to videos. You now have almost a full-blown production TV show, right? And that's where you can go with this, because YouTube allows you to do it. If you've always wanted to have your own TV show, you can do it because YouTube allows you to do it. If you always wanted to be a National Geographic photographer, you can do it because YouTube allows you to do it. And if you like these, I'm going to continue to just about once a week come back to this issue of, until we get through the all top 10, and I'll probably keep going over beyond that. But I'm thinking of putting a guide together on my Teachable page. If you haven't seen my Teachable page, go check it out. I have a free thing on there where I teach people how to use a marine gas tank with their mud motors. That's what people sign up for. But I have a whole sort of boot camp over there, the Black Warrior Lures boot camp, where I teach you some various things. Check that out. I want to get people, a lot of people are watching YouTube. A lot of people have a lifetime of experience and knowledge, but they're either scared of the technology, they're worried about the video editing, or they're scared that their content is just going to be cringe-worthy. They don't want cringe-worthiness, and I understand that, and I was there. And what I want to do is put together a guide, you know, because fishermen thinks, hey, you got a guide that takes you on the river and shows you where the best spots are and teaches you their techniques. And I want to put a guide together of how to build your own outdoors YouTube channel, whether it's you're a fisherman, hunter, backpacker, camping, whatever it is, because there's some things that are difficult in outdoors that it's easy to just sit here and do talking head videos. But when you're talking about getting out there in the woods, getting out there on the water, climbing a mountain biking, whatever it is, camping, that's it. Those are certain difficulties that we have, like the frequency of the content. How do we shoot in a way that's interesting to people? How do we get out videos when it's not always easy to get out videos? What do you do? How do you do that? So there's some things that I've learned, and I want to put that in a guide, and I want to ask for your help in that. So in the description below, if you could sit down and ask me a couple of questions about starting your own YouTube channel, growing your own YouTube channel, what would those 1 or 2 questions be? And we can just sort of chat about it, talk about it, see how I'm going to frame it. I got to get on the river. It's probably going to be raining, but I'm tired of sitting here in the house. Come on.